Valley Benjamin, and it is my honor and privilege to be the director of this center. It's my intention today that this message brings you into deeper awareness, a fuller embodiment of your relationship with your heart, with your power, and with your God. So that is my intention today. We have a mission and vision statement on our program, and what I find is I like to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so when I come to a center like this, when I go visit, I always check the mission and vision statement. And I like to read it to sort of ground myself into the community and into the intention. So let's read this together so we can remind ourselves why we're here today with this community. We are a community dedicated to inspiring minds, healing hearts, and transforming lives. We envision a world where everyone is accepted, appreciated, and empowered. And so this is. So it's Thanksgiving this week. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. You know, coming from England, we don't celebrate this holiday. You know, and so when I first came to this country, we didn't really bother with it because, you know, we hadn't been a part of our culture, and so we would do something else on Thanksgiving while all the Americans would be having turkey and stuffing and sweet potatoes and all of the delicious foods of Thanksgiving. We would go out to eat. And then as I grew up and married an American and had children, I started to really adopt this wonderful, wonderful holiday as a part of my tradition. And so now we have Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they're almost identical meals, because in England we have all the turkey and the stuffing and all that at Christmas time.
Don't they celebrate Good Riddance over in England?
What's that?
Yeah,
Probably. No, I don't know. I don't think so. Anyway, so getting back on track here, with the theme of this month being a bounty of blessings, this is a week where we can tune into how much we have to be thankful for. And so I just speak a blessing on each of you and your families as you get together on this beautiful day, Thanksgiving, to celebrate what it means to be together, what it means to have family, what it means to care. And whether you're with your family of your blood family, your family of origin, or a spiritual family, or a family that you've adopted or that has adopted you, may it be one of richness and blessings for you. So, blessings on your Thanksgiving. So my title today is Quality of Presence. Quality of Presence. And as I say those words, quality of presence, I invite you to consider what that means for you. What is the quality of your presence? Because we are the gift that we give to the world. Each one of us is a gift that we give to the world. And so the quality of our presence is what we bring to the world every day. The quality of our presence is what we bring into our relationships, into our workplace, into our hobbies. Everywhere we go, we bring an energy. We bring a vibration. we bring something unique that only we can bring. Each one of us is a radically individualized, unique expression of the divine. And we bring a certain quality of presence. Do you agree?
Yes.
You've felt when someone comes into the room and they're maybe sad or mad, or there's a quality to their presence, isn't there? There's that you can. They don't really need to say anything. You can almost feel it. It comes in before they do. It's an extension of who they are. But somehow we don't really know why this is. But us human beings, if we're tuned in, we can sense that quality. If we're tuned in, if we've made that, and I think all of you in this room probably have made a commitment to be on a conscious spiritual path. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be here. So you probably all developed a heightened sense of things. And so you'll understand this at a deep level when I ask you, what is the quality of your presence? So think of that as I'm talking today, okay? So at the very back of the Science of Mind textbook, which is the textbook that I have studied for years and years, it's The Science of Mind by Dr. Ernest Holmes. And at the very, very back of this book, and it's a big book, 500 plus pages, he concludes with this. And so I'm going to read you these couple of paragraphs, and then we're going to break it down. We're going to dive into this conclusion to this amazing book that is a philosophy, it's a faith, and it's a way of life. It's not a religion. It's a philosophy, a faith, and a way of life. It's really a manual for us to know how to discover who we are and to understand how the universe works, and then to learn how to navigate these spiritual laws, these principles and practices, so that we can have a life of more peace, more passion, more power, more love, more truth, and more wisdom. And so, he ends this amazing book with this. In conclusion, what the world needs is spiritual conviction, followed by spiritual experience. I would rather see a student of this science prove its principle than to have them repeat all the words of wisdom that have been uttered. For it is far easier to teach the truth than it is to practice the truth. Amen. It goes on. But the practice of truth is personal to each, and in the long run, no one can live our lives for us. To each is given what he needs, and the gifts of heaven come alike to all. How we shall use these gifts is all that matters. To hold one's thoughts steadfastly to the constructive, to that which endures, and to the truth may not be easy in a rapidly changing world. But to the one who makes the attempt, much is guaranteed. The essence of these teachings is an inner realization of the presence of perfection within and around about. I am that which thou art that which I am. So, that is his call to, his charge to us as we come to the end of this book, that we can read all this wonderful material, we can come to Sunday celebrations like this, we can take a seminar, a workshop, we can read a self-help book, we can go to the Himalayas and meditate with the monks, we can do all kinds of things and learn about it. But unless we put it into practice in our everyday lives, in our relationships, then what's it all for? then we become this junkie that is always seeking and seeking and seeking. It's like we're going and we're eating this and that from that, and then we're going somewhere else because we're hungry and we're looking for that, and we're going somewhere else and we're eating that, but we're not really embodying what it is we're learning. And then it builds up this atmosphere of we're not really satisfied. We have a bite of this and a bite of that and a bite of that, but there's this hunger that we're not satisfying. And I would say it's the ego mind. The ego mind has you convinced that there's something more, something better, something shinier, something more alluring, something, someone, some guru that's going to do it for you. That might be the case. But what I know, because I've been one of these people for 30 years, it's right here. And I don't mean here. I mean, it's right where you are all the time, in any given moment. All the gifts of the universe have been given. The banquet table is laid out before you. It's here. But you only see it if you have the eyes to see. You only experience it if you have an understanding. So we're going to go into this little conclusion of Dr. Ernest Holmes, and we're going to see if we can really extract that which will feed us and satisfy us, so we're not so hungry. It's good to stay a little bit hungry, a little bit seeking, but to be satisfied from within. To be satisfied by your own quality of presence. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Followed by spiritual experience. Spiritual conviction. We have to have a faith that we are right where we're supposed to be, that everything that is required for our awakening, our awareness, our joy, our good, is right here and available. When we have faith that there is a power within us, and when we're tuned in, and we're not seeking outside, when we're tuned in and we have faith that we're always going to be right where we need to be, we're always going to be experiencing exactly what we need to experience, then we have faith that everything is happening for us instead of everything is happening to me. There's a difference, because when we're in that victim mode, we feel like life's ups and downs and challenges. We feel like, oh my God, this is all happening to me and I just want to escape and get away. I want to point fingers, I want to blame it on something else. It's not me, and it's not happening to us. We can slightly shift our perspective and move over here to a place where we can feel that, oh my God, even in the chaos, even in this situation that I don't like, this is happening for me. What can I learn about being present with myself right now? Without escaping from this moment, without distracting myself, without having another drink, or turning on the soap operas, or getting on the computer, or Facebooking, or whatever we do to distract ourselves from looking at wherever we find ourselves in the discomfort of that, and having faith that right where we are, if we dig in, and if we have faith that what is happening for us, we can move through it. And we can come out on the other side with a greater sense of power and strength and belonging and believing. A greater place of power. So, this whole teaching, what I've found is, as I've read this book several times, we have to, it all sounds good. Putting it into practice is another thing. And so, because we're dealing with the intangible, subtle laws of the universe, like the law of cause and effect, change your thinking and your life will change. We're talking about taking radical responsibility, ownership of our thinking, the way we look at things, the way we frame up the world, we're taking responsibility. We have to be able to prove that this stuff works for ourselves. So that's why we have to put it into practice. So we can prove to ourselves that, wow, if I say that affirmation, I actually experience a different reality. They're not just airy-fairy words. I'm going to really practice this. I'm going to practice my meditation. I'm going to practice these affirmations. And I'm going to shift my thinking. I'm going to shift my energy. And I'm going to have an experience of something different. We have to be able to put it into practice and experience a different reality so we can start living like this on a daily basis. So we don't get sucked into that victim place where we feel like something is happening to us, something is wrong, there's something missing, and then we get in that spiral of believing that if only the outside world would change, then I'd feel better. Instead of being in this place, knowing that when I change, the outside world appears different. I am the cause. So we have faith. We have faith in ourselves that we are the cause. We are the thinker that thinks the thoughts, that creates the things. Wherever we are, all the time. Your thoughts are manifesting. Your thoughts, your opinions, your judgments about things are becoming your reality. So watch your thoughts, because they become things. He says it's far easier to teach the truth than it is to practice it. Practice of truth is personal to each. So we have to know ourselves. We have to know our value. So there's a story that I want to share with you. There was a young boy, and he went to his father, and he said, what's the value of life? I don't understand. And his dad gave him a rock, gave him a little stone. And he said, I want you to take this stone, and I want you to go to the market, and I want you to sell it. I want you to try and sell it. And if they ask you how much, I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to hold up 2 fingers. So the little boy didn't really understand what this was about, but his dad always gave him these weird challenges. So off he went to the market, and a woman approached him because he was selling his rock, and she said, oh my gosh, I love that rock. It would look perfect in my window. It would reflect the early morning sun. I must have it. How much? And he held up his fingers, and she said, $2, I'll take it. And he ran back to his dad, and he was told not to sell it, to bring it back. So he said, Dad, I have a buyer. This woman at the market said she'll buy it for $2. He said, now I want you to take it to the museum. And I want you to see if you can sell the stone at the museum. So he took the stone to the museum, and he found the museum director, and he came to him and he said, oh my gosh, that is such a rare stone. I want to buy it. How much? And the little boy held up his 2 fingers. And the museum director said, $200, I'll take it. And the little boy ran back to his dad, and his dad said, now I want you to take the stone to the precious gem shop. And so he ran off to the precious gem shop, and he got there, and he showed this elderly gentleman that had owned the shop for many, many years. And he just sat down. He was just bored. I had never seen one of these. I must purchase this. I will buy it. How much? And the little boy held up his fingers. And the gem shop owner said, $200,000, I'll take it. And the little boy ran home, and he shared with his father. And the moral of the story is, each of us is valuable. Each of us have a price. But it depends where you are in the world, if you're in the marketplace, if you're in the museum, or if you're in the gem shop, as to what your value will be. And we get so tuned in to thinking the outside, wherever we are, the environment, the situation we find ourselves in, the people that we find ourselves with, they determine our value. Well, that's nonsense. Each of us is a valuable gift. We came to this planet, we came to this earth with our own certificate of authenticity and value. How do I know this? Because I do. Because I know that each of us, by the mere fact that we're present, that we've incarnated into this body? Do you know the chances, the odds, since the Big Bang occurred? What had to happen in order for us to be here today? The chances are so slim that life is possible. We made it. We made it. We're here. We each have that certificate of authenticity, of rare uniqueness. So it's up to us to understand our value, to understand our uniqueness, and to bring that quality of presence into every situation. And also we have the responsibility to make sure that we're surrounding ourselves with those that value us and see us and support us in the way that we feel, that value our worth. And not put ourselves into situations, relationships where people don't. Because we're each responsible for who we surround ourselves with. But nevertheless, whether we find ourselves in the marketplace or in the precious gem shop, we have a responsibility to be authentic to ourselves. And when you're that genuine, when you're that authentic, when you're showing up in the world in that way, people will get you. People will see you. Maya Angelou said that there's 4 questions that each of us silently ask. So we silently ask these 4 questions. Now, we're not aware of this necessarily. You will be now. You're all going to be aware of it now. But see if if you don't think this might be true. That each of us are silently asking these questions from everyone we meet, from our spouse to a friend, to someone, to the people here in this community, to the barista at the coffee shop, to everyone. We silently want to hear a yes as an answer to these questions. And they are, do you see me? Do you care that I'm here? Am I enough for you? Can I tell that I'm special to you by the way you look at me? We're all wanting a yes to this. But how often do we go around the world not making eye contact, staying busy? We're busy, right? Really busy. We're going to stay busy because we're doing this and that. Got to get the kids, got to cook the meal, got to do this. How often do you go through your life without making eye contact, without truly seeing people and saying yes to them? Not out loud yes, but just the sheer quality of your presence says, yes, I see you. Yes, I value you. Yes, you're enough. And yes, you're beautiful. Can you imagine if we engaged at that level? I don't mean to be all mushy and, we're like, oh my gosh. But to just hold that eye contact for 1 second. This is your homework. 1 second longer than is comfortable. And say, yes, just inside yourself, I see you. You're valuable, you're enough. And I'm so happy our paths met. Again, you're saying it silently, with the quality of your presence. Why? Why is Reverend Ali suggesting we do this? Why on earth would this be of any value to me? Because you're going to see a shift. You're going to connect. You didn't come here to be busy and then croak. You came here to connect with individuals. You came here to have an experience with individuals. You came here to share your magnificence, to bring your divine gifts and qualities, to sow into being that you make a difference on this world. That's why all the spiritual teachers have said, in essence, be the peace you wish to see in the world. Be the love you wish to see in the world. You've got to be it. Instead of looking for it, being one of those hungry seekers looking for something, you get to bring it. Bring it forth. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I have some affirmations for you. I put into practice all that I am learning.
I put into practice all that I am learning.
I am present with everybody and everything.
I am present with everybody and everything.
I know my own worth.
I know my own worth.
I honor the value of others.
I honor the value of others.
I see you.
I see you.
I care that you're here.
I care that you're here.
You are enough.
You are enough.
You are special.
You are special.
With the quality of my presence, I am love.
With the quality of my presence, I am love.
I am love.
I am love.
I am loved.
I am loved.
I am lovable.
I am lovable.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Okay. All right, let's go into breath. Taking a breath. And in the silence for a moment, just tune in to everything that you've experienced in the last few minutes. And just notice the quality of your presence. So I speak a blessing this morning on all those that are gathered on Sunday in all the mosques, the temples, all the places of worship, the churches, all those that come together to celebrate life and to tune in to their God, the one life, the one power, the one presence that is always beautifully and magnificently expressing itself in every moment. Receive that gift. The now moment is the present. It's the presence. And you are embodying it now. Become that presence. I am that I am, and thou art what I am. Jesus, the master teacher, said, greater things ye shall do. The kingdom, the queendom of heaven is within. So we're waking up to our Christ consciousness. We're waking up to our true divinity, our true identity as being co-creators, knowing that our words create our reality. So I speak these words for each of us. I am the presence of love in human form, and I commit myself to bringing the most authentic, the most meaningful, the most powerful, the most creative, the most innovative me I can bring into every moment. I show up every day as the hands of Spirit serving, the heart of Spirit loving, and the mind of Spirit knowing. I remember who I am, and I put this into practice. Everywhere I go, I meet people, and I see them, and I say silently, in the silence of my own heart, I say yes. 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 So I give thanks for this ever-unfolding good, this path that I'm on. I give thanks for the continuous stream of abundance that presents itself as my life. I give thanks for the children. I give thanks for the children. I give thanks to the ancestors, those that have come before us. And I stand in love, and I stand in light, and I stand in thanksgiving. And so it is. So it is. All right. I always like to end things with clapping. Clapping reminds me that I'm here, and it reminds me that I've received something. So let's clap. All right. So we always take an offering. We are a non-profit organization that is funded by your generosity. And what I know is, aside for this being an opportunity for you to support this center and these teachings, also when we enter into this sacred law of circulation, we're really saying to the universe, I am richly sourced and supplied, and I have faith and trust in that. So I pay it forward, knowing that what I give, I receive. and I will receive tenfold for that which I am offering forward and planting into my life. So, please join me with repeating or reading from the brochure the blessing of our offering. Joyfully I give with gratitude, for I know that as I give, I am given. I allow the abundant nature of the universe to flow through me now. I am so blessed, and so it is.